Hello and welcome to So Help Me. This is a show where we help the beginning sewer learn some fun sewing techniques.
I got it wrong. It's my only line.
And today, by request, we are going to be talking about pillows with zippers.
Zipper.
A zipper closure for a pillow.
Zipper.
What could be more fun? Right?
Fireworks?
Right. Yeah, they could. Yeah, okay.
That'll be next time. We'll show you how to make homemade fireworks.
Fireworks in sewing.
Oh.
I could embroider fireworks. I'm not sure I could.
I don't think that'd be as much fun as combustion.
No, but I have fun thread.
Okay.
All right. Before we get started, I do want to let you know that I do have a DVD on zippers.
Zippers.
So if you want to learn about zippers, zippers and garments and stuff like that, I have a DVD on zippers, but I also have a DVD specifically on invisible zippers.
Invisible
So if you're having a
zippers.
little trouble with that,
Is that like the Invisible Man?
sort of.
It's a sci-fi.
Sci-fi, so help me. But let's talk about one closure first before we get started that doesn't include a zipper, which is a whole lot easier than putting in a zipper.
That's good.
And it's called the fold-over zipper.
Is that like a comb
Fold over, not fold-over zipper. Fold over. Never mind. What you're going to do is you're going to cut two pieces of fabric. And one is going to be longer than the other.
Why is that?
Because you're going to cut that one in half. So you're going to cut the first square according to the size of your pillow. So here we go.
You want to make it bigger than your pillow because otherwise...
Only one side.
Well, don't you want to... I thought...
Go with me
I'm
here.
on pillowcases.
Go
Just
with
kidding.
me. Go with me. Okay. Then I'm going to make the other one bigger. Like probably almost by about 6 inches, 6 to 8 inches. Then I'm going to cut down the center of that piece and I'm going to overlap them so that they match my other square of fabric. And then when I sew all the way around, let me flip this over so you can see, I will have a hole right there. So I can get my pillow form in there much easier. So it's the fold over method of pillow closure, which
So this is pillowcases.
No. Well, no, pillowcase.
That would be a pillowcase because if you have a fold over thingy, your fluff is going to fluff out.
You'd have to have a pillow form.
Oh, I get it. Pillow form.
Yeah. So let's talk about different pillow forms versus pillow fluff. What would you rather use?
Fluff sounds kind of fun.
I would rather use pillow forms.
Okay.
Because they're stuffed by a machine.
Obviously, I don't
they're
know
in
the
the
difference.
corners and they got everything all there ready for you. It's a lot easier to make, and they don't get mushy. If you're doing your own fluffy stuffy, sometimes it tends to get lumpy, you know, after a while because you've taken it apart and put it back together and taken it apart and shoved it back together again. The only time I would probably use the pillow fluffy stuff is if you went dumpster diving with Grandma and you got it all out of this. Remember that?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
If you have a lot of it, and don't know what to do with it, make a bunch of pillows.
That have glitter in them.
Or if you want to stuff that pillow really, really tight. But pillow forms are a little bit easier to work with.
Don't do fluff.
Okay, let's look at different kind of zipper feet.
Zippy, zippy, zippy.
Okay, there's a lot. I might need your hands here, Libs. There's a few different kinds of, because it's real. A few different kinds of zipper feet. Can we see those? I'm so sorry. Can you see that? There we go. Oh, he's kind of sliding. We're good though. This is a snap-on zipper foot, and that's a snap-on. This is a low shank, but this one right here is adjustable.
Ooh.
See how you can move that?
It's like magic.
It is, because if you don't have needle position on your sewing machine, you got to be able to move that foot back and forth. And that's why this adjustable one is so much better than the snap-on. Sometimes the snap-on one can get a bit boxy.
What is this one?
That is also a low shank one, but it doesn't have a little slit in the center.
Oh.
We're on an angle here. There we go, that's better. But this one doesn't have the line in the center. This one looks kind of like a canoe.
Canoe?
So
Not a kayak?
you want, no, not a, well, it could be, I guess. If you want to sew on one side, you know, the teeth of the zipper will be here. If you want to sew on the other side, you just flip it, and then the teeth of the zipper are on that
Oh,
side.
it's a flippy.
So when you sew a zipper, you can get nice and close to the teeth. Okay?
And that's a good thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But not too close. Not too close.
Too close, too close.
Too close. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about how to cut your fabric. What size? If you have like a 14 by 14 pillow form that you bought, what size would you cut your fabric?
15, 16.
You know
15.
what? That's what most people would say. But I like to cut them 14 by 14 because in home deck,
So they're nice and
yes,
they're cushy.
in home deck, your seam allowances are 1/2 inch. So you're only taking up a 1/2 inch all the way around. And it just kind of gives the pillow a nice little home. It feels nice and cuddly, like a baby wrapped and cuddly. So that's what I would do. Shut up. Okay. All right, so then about piping. Adding piping to your pillows.
You
There's
have to call a plumber?
no, or welting, depending on what people call it.
Welting?
Welting. No, not getting a welt.
Oh.
Why would you, there's 2 reasons why you would add piping to your pillows. The first one is for looks. You can really, if you have a striped fabric and you cut it on the bias, you get a nice look around the edge of your pillow.
Like it.
Yeah. It would look nice. So for looks, you can add piping, but also most of the time, like especially in cushions, you'll see they have all got piping, even
Oh,
when it's
yeah.
little bits.
Yeah.
And that's because
Like a
it
cat
actually,
cushion.
yep, it actually strengthens the seam.
Strengthens the seam.
And it also allows you to wear on the piping instead of on the
The seam.
actual seam.
Oh,
So it
that
makes it
sense.
last longer. So there's 2 reasons why you would use piping. Okay, let's talk about 2 different kinds of ways to put in zippers. The first one is just an inseam zipper right here. And it's in the bottom of the zipper, the bottom of the pillow. I'll get it.
Zipper is in the bottom of
Yeah.
the zipper.
Yeah.
It's confusing, but it works.
It's in the bottom, and you just open it up and stuff your stuffing in and close it back up again.
Make sure your stuffing does not have glitter in it.
Right, but this one, the zipper is definitely visible. And you do have to shut these 2 sides. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. The first thing you want to do is cut your 2 pieces of pillow. Now you're going to have to pretend with me this is one piece side of this is the front of the pillow and this is the back of the pillow. Okay, so we're going to be pretending.
We will pretend.
Pretend with
Like a
me
front.
that these are your 2 things of pillow, okay, front and back. This is your seam that you're going to sew, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to sew your zipper on, oops, I'm sorry, I went to the wrong side. You're going to line up your zipper and your edge of your fabric together. So here's your 2 raw edges there. And you're going to sew with right sides together. So this is the right side of your zipper and this is the right side of your fabric. You're going to put those 2 together, all right? And you're going to sew right here. So the stitching will not be seen on the outside. But this is important. You're going to...
Invisible zipper?
No, this is not invisible, but it's going to be as invisible as possible. You want to sew as close to the teeth as you can, and you want to sew only from the zipper pull to the closure. You can see I didn't go all the way down to the end there.
Why not?
I left this open. You will find out in just a minute.
Oh, I'm not good with patience.
So now I've got my zipper sewed in on this side, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay? sewing only from my bottom of my zipper right there. Maybe if I turn this over, you can probably see it a little bit better because you can probably see that stitching right here. So here's my zipper pull. I started sewing right here, sewed all the way down to here, and reinforce that a little bit, okay? I don't know, so I only sewed down, here's my closure of my zipper, I only sewed down to there, all right? Then you're going to close those seams. And here is how I close the seam. If I open this and show you on the front again, you can see that I've sewed from here down to the end. Okay, so I've closed that up. I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to flip this over again, and you can see that I've ironed in the rest of what would have been sewn on the zipper. So I have a nice crease line to follow there. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over, and I am going to, if you want to zoom in right here, you can see that my stitching ends right here. Okay, and I'm going to start sewing right here. So I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch open right there, and then
Why is
that is because I have to have some place for my zipper pull for that bump to go. If I start sewing right here,
You're going to sew your zipper.
yeah, there's no place, there's no space for my zipper pull to go.
Oh.
And I'll have a blub there. I do not like blubs.
What if you move the zipper pull to the middle of it and then you sew it? Or
Well,
will it
that,
still give you a blub?
yeah, because when you close it, then there's still no place for the zipper pull to go.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So I'm going to start about 1/4 of an inch past the end of my sewing and stitch all the way to the end. And if we look at this other side, you can see that is exactly what I did.
So you have to have a 1/4 inch space at the beginning
Yeah.
and at the end of the zipper.
Yeah. So you can see, here's where I started sewing my seam closed. Here is where I stopped sewing on my zipper. So now I'll flip this over again, and you're going to see how nice and flat
Oh, that looks so
that
nice.
lays?
Flat is usually a good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
So it lays nice and flat in there, and if you give it a good iron, that'll work just fine. So that's how you do an inseam zipper. Now this one is a little bit more difficult to do it's a little bit more difficult to do piping in, because you kind of got to try and work with that zipper in there and get the piping in just right. And so I'm going to show you another way to do
An easier way?
an easier way.
Oh, we
I
like
think
the
it's
easier
easier because you can add piping to it, you can add decoration to it, you can add fringe to it, you can do whatever you want.
Fringe.
Fringe is fun.
Fringe.
Mhm.
You add like tassels to it?
You can.
Oh, tassels are fun. I like tassels.
Okay, so if we have a 14 by 14 square, here is the stuff that you're going to use. This is for a lapped zipper pillow. You're going to need 1/2 yard of either 45 or 60 inch wide fabric.
A lapped, what is a lapped?
It's the lap that goes over the zipper.
Like a flap?
Yeah, like a flap, a lap flap.
Oh, okay.
That's what I call it.
Okay.
You can call it a flap zipper.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll call it a flap zipper.
Okay. And then you'll need the zipper foot for your machine. You'll need a plastic zipper that is at least 12 inches. Probably not less than that. It can be more because you can cut it right off if you want to. And a polyester thread because you want it nice and strong. Wonder tape. This is fantastic stuff. I love this stuff because this is like carpet tape for zippers. It's sticky on both sides, and it's got a paper release on one side. So if you just stick that down on your zipper, this is what I've done here. I've stuck it down on my zipper, and then if I pull off the paper, you can see that,
Oh.
and I can stick my fabric right on there, and it stays. So you don't have to use any pins. I love this stuff. I use this for ribbon and things like that too. not just for zippers, but that's initially what I purchased it for its wonder tape. And then of course you'll need your 14-inch pillow form.
Or stuffing.
Okay. Or stuffing, yes.
But we like pillow forms, not stuffing.
Well, I do. You might like stuffing.
I have bad experiences with stuffing. we don't go there.
Stuffing for Christmas.
Oh, no.
Okay. So you're going to cut, here's what you're going to do to cut your fabric. You're going to cut 2 pieces that are 14 by 14 inch squares. And then you're going to cut 1 strip that is 3 inches by 14 inches.
What is this strip?
I am going to show you.
Is that for the lappy flap?
Yeah. So here we go.
Lappy flap. Oh, I get it. Oh, that makes so much more sense now.
All right. Here's the first thing that you're going to do. You're going to take one of, now this is not 14 by 14, but that's the best I could do because otherwise it's too big for the camera.
Oh, okay.
You're going to iron in a 1/2 inch seam allowance on one of your 14 by 14 inch sides. Just iron in a 1/2 inch seam allowance, okay? Then you're going to take your strip that is 3 by 14, and remember how we sewed in the zipper for the other one? We did it with right sides together and we sewed it on.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to do exactly the same thing here, but you're going to sew all the way to the end of the zipper tape. So I started sewing here and ended sewing here.
So there's not going to be room for the zipper pull?
Because we don't.
Oh, it's going to be flat,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get it.
Yep.
This is coming to me.
Good. I'm glad.
Slowly but surely.
All right. Then you don't need to iron that in place because we're going to do something else with that in just a minute. So then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to sew the other side of the zipper to the folded edge. Remember that hem that we just did? We're going to sew the other side of the zipper to the folded edge right here using my zipper foot. Now I'm going to just sew all the way on my zipper tape, all the way down. But sometimes you will find that when you get to your zipper pull, your stitch kind of goes and in a little bit. So here's what you do. You pull your zipper pull down and you sew all the way down and then put your needle in the fabric and make your zipper go shut again and continue on. So what you want to remember is that these edges right here have to line up. You don't want to be sewing them like this because that's going to be a problem. You'll have to resize your old pillow. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go to the sewing machine here a minute.
Tripping over your cords. You should really coordinate your cords.
I'm sorry. Coordinate my cords. Okay, I can see that my zipper, my needle is on the wrong side. So I'm going to move my needle all the way over to the other side. And this is just a regular straight stitch. And I'm going to sew, you know, nice and close to my zipper. You don't want to be too close when you use this fold over method because if you do, sometimes you've got too much fabric there. Are you having fun?
I am.
Sometimes you got too much fabric there and what happens is you can't close the zipper.
Oh. Oh.
So I'm going to go past, my zipper's in there, and I'm going to push that over.
Uh-oh, you're askew.
Oh, that's okay. My, can you?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to pull, there we go, I got it. Now I'm sewing my zipper closed, no I'm not sewing, I'm putting my zipper closed.
Okay.
Now I'm past that little pull thingy, so I can just go ahead and put this,
zipper pull.
it's a zipper pull.
It's not a pull thingy.
Pull thingy, and keep going. Whee! sew all the way down to the end.
Say we as you go. Like that little pig on TV that you want to punch in the face.
Yeah, that one. Okay, let's see if we can get a nice close-up of that. So, one side is sewed invisibly underneath. Remember, right sides together, sew on the wrong side of the fabric. The other side, you're just sewing that fold in right there. Okay? Now I have a sample of that right here that we've done this with. Okay, so now you're going to take that piece that was 3 inches and you're going to fold a little lap over top. Isn't that cool?
It should be called the flat pillow.
The flat pillow. Libby thinks it should be called the flat pillow, so that's what we're going to do it.
Yep.
Okay. Then you are going to sew right here because we got a hole there, right? We want to cover up that hole.
Yeah.
So you're going to sew from where your zipper stops right here to the end, right on the edge of the fabric, and right here, right to the edge of the fabric. But again, you're going to have a blub there because you got that zipper pull.
All these blobs.
I know, I don't like blobs, so I'm going to open this up again and sew it without the zipper pull there. And I have a sample of that as well.
Am I your sample getter?
You are my sample getter.
Oh, this looks nice.
Okay, so here we are. Here we have a picture of the stitching right here to close up the hole and the stitching right here to close up the hole. I'm sorry, can you, I wonder if you can zoom in there or not. Great, so you can see I've stitched right there and my opening is still right here, okay? Now another thing that I've done is I have stitched this whole area right here to hold my flap in place.
See, it is a flap, not a lap.
It's a flap.
It's a flap.
So if we go back to my other one here, this other sample, the smaller one, you can see it a little bit easier. What I would do is I would sew right here, and that's where I would take my pen and I would just mark. You can feel right where that zipper is, so I would just mark, whoops, right along there.
And what kind of pen is this?
This is one of those new friction pens, so that when you iron on it, it poof, disappears.
Oh.
I know, I love these
it's
things.
A heat eraser.
It's a heat eraser. Friction causes heat.
Or heat erased.
Mm-hmm. So there, now I'm going to sew all the way along there, and you get that idea. And that's what I've done in this sample. Right here.
Oh, that looks so nice.
Okay, so then I've sewed all the way along here, okay? Then, this is when you add your piping. So,
This is when you call your plumber.
you, you would add your piping either on this piece or this piece. Now, then you would take your other 14-inch square and you would lay that down first, okay? And then you would lay your other one with a zipper in it down on top of there. Now this one that you just made with the flapped zipper in it is going to be bigger than your 14 by 14. And that's why I had you cut a 3-inch piece, because that way you can put your zipper down or up and you can cut however you want it to be. And then sew all the way around. One word of caution.
Uh-oh. Caution. Caution.
Caution. When you sew all the way around, you better make sure that you have opened up
Enough room.
your zipper on this piece. Because otherwise, when you sew all the way around, you won't be able to get it. Your zipper pull will be on the inside, and you'll have to be,
stuck.
yeah, you'll have to try and eke that open. Otherwise,
open?
it doesn't work very well.
Eking
Eking.
doesn't usually work.
Nope. So, any questions?
Did we officially change it to a flapping pillow?
Yes, it is now a flapping pillow.
Yay! Like in the 20s.
Sure.
Get it? It's a flapper
Yep.
pillow.
Flapper pillow.
Ta-da!
So I hope you have learned to it. Now, this is probably not all inclusive. I'm sure there's other ways to put zippers in pillows, but these are just 2 ways that I do them usually.
What if you don't want to sew right here and just make it like a free hanging flap?
Well, the problem is once you put the pillow, let's that's a good question,
Will
Libby.
it
I'm
poof up?
glad, yeah. Once you put the pillow in there and it gets all poofy, what happens is it starts pulling. If you don't have that stitch there, it's going to pull right.
Be like, hi, I'm a zipper.
Yeah, you're going to see your little zipper there.
That makes a lot of sense.
Thank you. Thank you. That's why we put that stitching there. That was a very good question. Thank you for asking. Okay, so we hope you have enjoyed yourself, and thank you so much for being on with me.
Of course, Miss Barb.
And we'll see you next time. Remember, keep looking up. Bye-bye.
Bye.